Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Redstone Run, and today we're going to be getting into how to build ourselves a beautiful super smelter furnace array going on over here, and it's going to be pushing ourselves the easiest way, loading up one fuel at a time, and preferably you're going to be using kelp blocks, but you could use any fuel up to coal blocks and lava buckets, just because those are a little bit too efficient. You know, if you want to go wasting them or build a way bigger furnace array, you could always expand this to substantiate the amount that you're going to be loading in. But it's going to be a little bit more wasteful that way, but of course you could always edit this to go ahead and accommodate for that as well. Of course, the furnace can only hold 64 items, so lava won't really be the most efficient one for us to go with. And this tutorial works for any console version or PC or mobile of Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Unfortunately, it does not work with Java. I'm sorry. And here's the materials list and the fuel sources for where they go. Could use our dried kelp blocks, which gives you 20 items smelted per kelp block. Blaze rods, which give you 12 items smelted per rod. And there's go ahead and you could use charcoal coal, gives you 8 items per smelt, and somehow it turns out that boats somehow give you 5 items per smelt. Don't highly recommend it, but also wood and all kinds of other types sometimes give you half or 1.5 per stick per item that you want to smelt. Let's go ahead and see this thing demonstrated in action real quick before we get to build it. Right, and you have yourselves a fuel on and off switch, so when all your materials go in and the machine you still want it to keep continuously running, you go, so that way you unload everything into the unloading chest right here. Right, you go ahead and let it keep cycling, so that way it can unload but not load any, waste any fuel. Flip this switch right here, right, and it's gonna be turned off right when it's flipped like so. Right now, since we're going to go ahead and get it started, you don't want that flip switched on, right? And we got ourselves 9 stacks of cobblestone going right there. Bam. We're going to go ahead and start loading it in. Obviously, the first one is going to be a little bit off. Well, somehow I flipped it perfectly. It's going to get around perfectly a 1 or a 1 under, just to go ahead and get the cycle started. And bam. See, it's going to go 19 items, but usually gets around 20. Right there. Bam. We got ourselves 20 right there. And another 20 is going to come right up and is going to push it right along to get ourselves the fuel source. Boom, right there. Gives it one fuel source and it's ready to go. By the time it makes a full circle, it's going to go ahead and unload right into this chest right here, and everything is perfectly timed, so that way the furnace reaches this spot right here, and it's done and gets started, ready to get new fuel and start us unloading here. So let's go ahead and shut this thing off. And let's get this tutorial started, right? First thing we're going to want to do is grab ourselves our furnace right here and grab ourselves a piston, and we're going to go right off of this corner, off of this side, right? This thing, the best part of this farm is that it fits perfectly inside a chunk, so it only takes up 16 spaces wide, right? And in length it goes 6 blocks like so. Most of the space is taken up by this machine right here, the ether hopper clock, right? This other side over here is only 4 wide, and then we also go up 9 blocks. Technically you go up 8, but you do want to access this chest right here, and that's gonna go ahead and push us up to 9. So let's get started. We're gonna go ahead and place our temporary block like here, like so. Go ahead and put your piston on this temporary block. Then you're going to want to go ahead and grab your solid blocks, grab a lever, grab your repeater, and a redstone dust. Well, your redstone dust. Right? We're going to go ahead and place solid blocks in the back here like so. 2 redstone dust, 2 solid blocks here like so. Take a switch, flip it, and a repeater right here. So that way, whenever we put a block right here, it's going to go ahead, immediately get pushed along the line. Then we're going to go ahead and put our row of temporary blocks like so. Leave 4 blocks right here of space, right? You put a piston off this 4th block right here like so. And then you go ahead and put a temporary block over here. On that temporary block, you put 4 furnaces right on top of each other, right? Like so. Then you go ahead and also fill in this line with furnaces over here, like so. Make sure you leave one in front of that piston. You could also place a temporary block over here. Start your line of furnaces like so. 3 on top of each other, right? We have 4 on that line, 3 on this line. Okay? Then we have a temporary block over here, and you're gonna go ahead and fill in your line of furnaces like so. I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a little temporary area since I'm a creative. It's a little bit harder to place the furnaces, but you guys can do it while crouching along the corner, which I have in my survival world. Bam, just like so. Now, next up, you're gonna want to remove any temporary blocks. Then we're gonna go ahead and build our circuit on the back one over here by putting 2 solid blocks right here. Go ahead and put a repeater, flip the switch, then you put a solid block over here, and you go ahead and put a solid block in the back over here, put a solid block on the back over here, put a temporary block right here like so, 2 solid blocks right here, temporary block over here, 1 block up, right? And you put 4 blocks down like so. Next, you're going to want to grab your redstone torch, place your redstone dust over here like so, and you're going to want to put your piston down over here like so, facing downwards, right? So that way when this furnace gets over here, it gets pushed down, this piston pushes it this way, and this piston is going to be pushing it upwards. We didn't set up the system for this piston yet, but it's coming up in a second. So we're going to get to this one right now. Put the redstone dust here like so, redstone dust over here like so. Then you're going to want to put redstone dust over here, a repeater. Then you're going to want to put redstone torch over here, redstone, then place a repeater over here like so. Then you're going to want to place your hopper and chest in the back of this furnace like so. This is going to be our fuel input. Grab your redstone lamp, place it on the back of this furnace right here on the side of this hopper. Now make sure when you put the switch, you do not put it up here, because this is going to lock the hopper that we're going to have over here. Okay, put the switch right here, and just to see if it works, just like so. Put your hopper in like so. Another chest on top of that hopper, another chest connected to that chest, and finally you're going to want to place temporary block right here, another temporary block right here, another temporary block right there. Place 2 hoppers into those temporary blocks like so, and then move the temporary blocks. You could go ahead, connect your chest right there, just like so. Place your solid blocks, 2 solid blocks right here, solid block right there, redstone dust, redstone repeater, flick switch, bam, just like so. We're going to want to place our redstone lamp right along this hopper like so. Place our switch on it, turn it on. Then temporary block right along this switch, right? And then underneath that temporary block, you're going to put a solid block, row of 3 going this way, right? Temporary block underneath that, and going down 1, just like so. Okay, so 3 going this way, 1 going down. Redstone dust, redstone dust, redstone dust, and a repeater just like so. Okay, then we're going to want to go ahead and place our temporary block right along this furnace, another temporary block right here like so. Put our piston over here, like so. We might want to unflick that switch. We're going to go ahead and place our temporary block right along over here like so, and you're going to want to make sure our hopper faces this way into this block, right? And then you're going to want to break that temporary block and make sure your other hopper faces into each other, right? So then they're going into each other like so, right? Next, you're gonna want to go ahead and place yourself a temporary block over here like so, another temporary block over here like so, solid block underneath that, solid block underneath here, solid block on the side of that temporary block, and then solid block over here, right? Let's break out our little marker over here, just to keep you guys, make it a little bit clearer for you guys. I'm going to leave it there for now. That's our top of the limit right here, so that way you could access this chest. All right. And then you're going to want to go ahead and place our comparator like so. Place our comparator like so, where those temporary blocks were. Okay. Then you're going to want to go ahead and place a redstone dust right here, redstone dust right there. You're going to want to place a piston off of that redstone dust, or you could place a temporary block if you don't want to be, you know, super skilled with it like me. But you go ahead, place it right there like so. Make sure these two pistons are facing into each other. Put a redstone block right here. Now, whichever fuel source you're going to be using, that's how many items you're going to want to put in here. But adjust that chart I showed you guys earlier, right? So for our purposes, we're going to be using 20. And if you don't want any other names to possibly fall in there, you could always rename them. But keep in mind that it does have extra slots, so you could always possibly somehow end up messing this up. But just like so, it's going to go ahead and put 20 items in. It's going to start cycling. Now, next, final step to get this whole shebang going along the road, you're going to want to grab your observer, and you're going to want to point that observer, right, into this redstone block or piston, whichever way it goes extended. Now, whenever this is cycled, just like so, it's going to go ahead and push the whole entire machine along. You can remove your temporary blocks and you're done. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial. Leave a like if you did. If not, that's okay. Sorry. I hope you enjoy the next one. But yeah, perfect efficiency, just like so. And load up your kelp right here. This will be your fuel going into here. Go put your regular materials, whatever you want to go ahead and get yourself smelted up, right into here, and your output's gonna go right here. And then when the cycle is done, you can go put all your items going through, and you want to go ahead and still continue everything to empty it out. You go ahead and flip this switch right here, and keep in mind that this doesn't have to be redstone lamp. You could also just use a solid block, but it's up to you. Like, this just lets you know whether it's on or off, and you know. But you could also use the way the switch is flipped just to indicate it. Makes it easier though. But yeah, bam. Just remember to unflip that switch whenever you start it all up, and turn the machine off when you're completely done. Just like so. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Redstone Run. Stay safe out there. Peace.